Hey, folks, welcome to the Generational Gap. I am Robert, your resident Gen Xer, and right over there is John, our resident millennial. John, how are you doing tonight?
I'd be doing a lot better if you didn't start off every show just so racist. Like before you hit the like button, you just say the most racist things. It's ridiculous. Can't believe you're
Yes.
doing that.
Well, it's because I don't like your race, John.
Clearly,
You white
clearly you
people have
don't.
screwed everything up in this country.
The white man.
The white man,
The
the white man has oppressed me.
white in the house. What up?
Happy ho 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 to
That's right.
everybody! It's
And I'll
coming up.
continue to oppress you.
Nice, I love it.
It
2 days
is.
away. 2 days away from the big Christmas day. I don't know if anybody's been, the Star of Bethlehem's been kicking. I think if you wanted to get to Jerusalem, now is the time to do it. You've got the Star to lead you. Was it Bethlehem? Excuse me. They went to Bethlehem, right? The Star led them to Bethlehem. Where was it? Hell,
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't even think it's called Bethlehem anymore. But John, you got yourself all set
I
up
don't
for
know.
for
Might be.
do what? I'm sorry,
Oh,
you
what?
cut out a little
I
bit.
said it might be. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
Oh no, I was saying Bethlehem might be still called Bethlehem. That's it.
yeah. You wouldn't think
I
they'd
wasn't trying
change
to
the name,
interrupt you
right?
there.
You wouldn't think they'd
Why
change the
would they?
name.
It's a perfectly good name.
Yeah, don't swing around so much. I think it's giving you a little bit of stutter. Yep. See, there it goes. See, you keep doing it. I know you're trying to test me. But
Hmm.
you got some good holiday plans coming up. You got your whole Christmas day planned.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just an FYI, folks, we will not be doing a show on Christmas. John
No.
is has come down with the big gay, and
I've
is
come
not
down with the holiday spirit. Thank
right.
you.
Right. he took he took a full load of the holiday spirit right up his Yule log.
Nose. Oh. Of
But good. So, did you write a letter to Santa? Did you get all that taken care of?
course. Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I have? God.
Um, what?
I'm saying, why wouldn't I?
Yeah, I don't know. Did you go to Christmas, Florida, to mail it off?
Of course. Where else would I go?
You
I
know
mean,
that
I'm going over there to pick up meth anyway. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I?
did you know in Christmas
Oh
in
man.
Christmas, Florida, they have about over they estimate throughout the season they have over 200,000 people come through Christmas, Florida to mail Christmas cards
It's
from
unfortunate
there
for them.
so that it's postmarked from Chris. Now you would think, okay, well, that's a lot of Americans, but guess what? There are people flying from other countries to go to Christmas, Florida
Well, that's just stupid.
and mail stuff out so it's postmarked from Christmas.
That's really stupid.
Well,
Don't
they're,
do
they
that.
do it. They plan vacations here in Florida. Of course, there's other things
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do, but one of the things that they do while they're here is go to Christmas, Florida, and mail
How far
postcards.
is Christmas? How far is Christmas, Florida from the
From
city?
here,
Yeah.
it's about if like where I'm at. You know where I live. If
Yeah,
you were to
yeah.
leave from where I'm at, it's about a 40-minute drive out
All
50.
right. It's not terrible.
No, it's just past Bithlo, or right
Yeah,
before
yeah.
Bithlo.
It's
But
around
it's
Bithlo. It's in the meth capital of Florida, like that kind of area.
Yeah, it was a town. It was actually a town. The origins of the town were a place during, I believe it was, what war was it? One old war way back, where the troops set up to winter, to and
Hmm.
do stuff. But they named it Christmas because of the time of the year it was happening. But all the streets are named all sorts of Dancer and Prancer and Vixen and all that. You got the whole nine yards. If you've never been
Oh my
there,
God.
it's kind of an interesting place to be. And they really kind of jazz it up at Christmas. Of course you would have to, you'd be expected to.
Naturally.
So they deck their trailers out and have all this wonderful stuff go on.
Right.
Like I said, it's right near Bithlo. So
Right. They string lights along their meth pipe. Right.
right, exactly. They're glow in the dark meth pipe, right?
Of course.
But anyway, so I wanted to do. I thought, what the hell? Let's kind of do a lighthearted show tonight. Now, before we do that, I would be remiss if we didn't talk just a little bit about current events that are going on because these are some big things that are going on right now over these last couple of days in Washington. So I just want to recap and just put it out there so people can look into it if they want to, et cetera, et cetera. But that there was Trump met with Republicans, and is tried to convince them that when January 6th rolls around, when Mike Pence is supposed
Yeah.
to authorize the electoral college vote, he wants Republicans to flip that. He had a big meeting
Right.
about trying to flip that. But I don't think they are going to manage that. Thanks, Wyatt. I appreciate that. This is one of my favorite times of year because you can wear this hat. Right? You can't wear this during the summer. People
Right.
just
Any
look at
other
you.
time you'd be a crazy man. Yeah.
Right? Right. Then I'm
Yeah.
just an idiot. Uh,
Yeah.
but uh, but
Now you're festive.
right, I'm festive. But we got there. So we've been trying to get the budget through before the deadline, so we don't shut down the government. But part of what they did was they also apparently everybody agreed on a stimulus package to go through as well. Um, and basically, it's like a $900 billion stimulus
Yeah.
package.
The
But there's
worst trade deal in the
now.
history of trade deals.
Well, hold on. Now, here's one of the things about this. What they've done is they've wrapped it all. They kind of included it in the normal budget that they do every year. And this has got a lot of
Hmm.
people on the, I don't, I almost want to say misinformed because like they're seeing foreign aid and they're looking at these numbers for foreign
Right.
aid, which we do every year with our budget, right? We incorporate money for
Hmm.
foreign aid or foreign projects, this, that, or the other. But because the stimulus is bounced in, people are conflating the two, right?
Right.
And I think they're doing themselves a disservice if they don't really look and pay attention to, okay, there's a difference between what's in the stimulus package and what's in the regular budget that we do every year. This is not uncommon for us to do these things.
Right.
You don't have to love
So I
foreign
think it's
aid,
more
but
about. I think it's more about the insult. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more about
oh,
the insult to the American people that is the
yes,
problem.
yes, and
It's
this is a
not
big one.
like it's not just that it's a budget, right? We have these millions and billions of dollars going to other countries, but here you pleb, you get 600. That's enough, right? You can live off of $600
Right.
for the rest of fucking
I
next
mean,
year or
there are
two.
literally
Like
people that
no,
are
that's yeah.
many months behind on their rent and their
Oh yeah.
mortgages, right? And it's like,
Yeah, here's a pittance. Here,
right, because they
go
are
away.
including
This most.
they're including a
Mm.
$600 payment to Americans, like the last stimulus package had for 1,200.
Yeah.
But I think they've dropped the cap down to $75,000 though, as to who's going to get it. But both sides have agreed on this. But Trump came out on Tuesday, put a video out on Twitter, and basically said what you said. This is an insult to the American public. They need more money than that. People need, and he's calling for a $2,000 per American stimulus. And now, granted, $2,000 isn't necessarily going to be enough, but $2,000 that pays somebody a lot of people's bills for the month. Now, I know we're not a big fan of just kicking the money printer on, yet we are in a situation where, governments, whether local, state, or federal,
That's
have
hmm
impacted people's lives. People are hurting.
right, which is easily solved. Easily solved
It could be,
by
yes,
letting people go back to work.
but there
Yeah,
is the
it
there
could
is
have been.
there is the
This
new
was not necessary.
there's the new UK strain of the virus though that is now giving everyone
Whatever.
pause.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm just
Yeah, of
saying.
course. The timing is a little suspicious, though, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's the UK. I mean, what do they
Oh,
have a plan?
as soon as we get a vaccine,
Hmm.
right? Then here comes, oh look, there's a new super strain that's vaccine
And
resistant.
no,
Oh, but
actually,
it'll also the vaccine will work. But the other outlet says no, it won't. But the other one says it will. And yeah,
oh well,
this isn't going to end.
from what I understand, preliminary studies of this new virus have shown that it basically has the same mortality rate. It's a slightly different one, and there are some scientists that are saying that the vaccine that we have will still be effective against the newer strain of the virus. It's unsure. Um,
Right.
of course, they can't be 100% sure, but a lot, even Fauci was saying, look, it's probably already here if it's going to be,
Yeah.
and you shouldn't be shutting down, flights from the UK, this, that, and the other, because I think New York is going to start putting UK travelers on lockdown for 2 weeks or however long, monitored lockdown. When they're coming into the
Oh
country, but I'm like,
God.
you're not going to stop it. It's already, if it, by the time you discovered it, it's already on the move, right? But
Oh
I will
yeah.
say this: the last bastion, and again, Plague Inc. The game comes to mind. They finally had an outbreak of corona in Antarctica.
In Antarctica.
Yes,
But
they finally
how's
seen
Greenland
COVID up
doing though?
there. I don't know.
How's
Antarctica.
Greenland doing? Because
Well,
that's
they
always the hardest one to get. That and Madagascar.
Greenland is hard.
Yeah,
It
Madagascar.
Greenland is hard. Yeah. But ultimately, they were like, this was the last place in this run of the game. Antarctica was the last place left that hadn't had it, but now
That's
they've got
crazy
it up
because there's
there.
like 12 people there.
Um,
But I mean, I guess they have shipments of stuff coming in, so I guess that makes sense.
Wyatt says, I had someone telling me today that Mitch was the one holding up the stimulus bills before.
I'm sure they're going to tell you,
Right.
who it's not their fault for sure. It's not the Democrats' fault. It's or even if it isn't, it's got to be the Republicans' fault, no matter what,
Here's the
especially Trump.
here's the funniest thing about it. He put out that video, and Nancy Pelosi gets on Twitter and applauds him for it and says, it's good to see that Trump is finally on board with a $2,000 stimulus
Right.
payment. And all I could think was, hold on, this motherfucker for 3 months or more has been saying we need another stimulus package, and it needs to be
Yep.
bigger and better for the American people.
Yep.
They need
Oceania
more
has
money.
always been at war with Eurasia.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's like he's been asking for $2,000 for a while now.
Yep.
So why are you like acting like he's just now on board with it?
Because that's the narrative that needs to happen. Like I said, Oceania has always been at war with Eurasia.
So tomorrow night they're going to hold a special vote to try and bump that number up. Pelosi is calling for Republican Majority Leader to just call it a unanimous vote. Like, how they can do that, where they say,
Hmm.
okay, we're just going to write and say it's a unanimous vote from our side, right? And that's what
Naturally.
she's calling for to happen. So who knows? It'll have a special session tomorrow, special vote to see if they'll incorporate that in. He did not, no matter what Amy Klobuchar says, he did not veto this. He just gave the indication that he might, because he's not happy with it. There were other things in there besides the stimulus payment that he wasn't happy with, but that's his big sticking point, and he did
Mm.
not veto it. What he did veto was the military spending bill that was put through, and he vetoed that. And they're going to have to try and get a congressional override of the veto with a 2/3 vote, which they think they will. But he didn't like the military bill.
Hmm.
And that's what he vetoed. And again, this is where mainstream media and even politicians are, you know, confusing what we're hearing. Him
Yeah.
putting out a video and saying he doesn't agree with this stimulus package is not him vetoing it yet. You know,
Right.
um, but Ed says no foreign aid if unemployment is over 5%.
What
Uh,
about no foreign aid unless they agree to be vassal states?
right. He also says he's not taking the money. Of course,
How
we know
Pat?
that, but I would
Yeah.
appreciate it, Ed, if you're not going to take it, you
Yeah. I'm getting a gun with mine.
No,
So.
I'm just telling you right now. I will say this: if it winds up being a $2,000 payment, I'm not in control of whether or not it's going to happen or not, right? But
Right.
I'm gonna take a chunk of that money and I'm gonna get my fucking teeth fixed. I'm,
Fair
I,
enough. Yeah.
I'm like fuck it. I'm gonna have my whole upper replaced. I'm just gonna have it all knocked out and throw in a new set of dentures. I'm at that age. It's just gotten to
Yeah.
that point. Uh,
And then we can make fun of you for that. So that'll be fun.
Ed says I won't contribute to the national debt.
I get it.
You're not
I
technically you're not going to be
100%.
contributing to it. You'll be contributing to it one way or the other because the money's going to be sent to you. It's going to be doled out to you. Now, granted, the money will sit there eventually, but it'll go to something else that you don't want them to spend it on. But it is what it is.
Yeah. It'll go
Yeah.
to more foreign aid.
Ed says he did mention earlier the pocket veto. Yeah, they're talking about
Yeah.
a pocket veto on the stimulus package. But again, uh, right. Why says, did you see Amy Clip talking about it? Yeah, yeah, I did see her talking. Well, I read an article what she was saying about it, but it's I don't know. The bottom line is, I, the bulk of the American population, or a large portion of the American population, is probably completely on board with getting a $2,000 stimulus check right about now. I mean,
Yeah.
sad to say, but it's true.
Well, some people are getting really fucked. I mean, luckily, Florida has been very decent with it. DeSantis has
Yes,
done an amazing job, I think.
yeah. I mean,
So,
you think about people in Houston got wrecked by a couple
yeah,
of hurricanes this year, right?
yeah,
In the middle of all of this. I mean, there's some serious things that have happened in different places that are really having an impact. And there's a good chance we're going to have some harsh winters up north. You know,
yeah,
and that's not good either, right? I mean, there's
right.
people. I was reading, saw a little snippet of an article about how there are so many people who are like, I never thought I would be doing this, standing in line at food handouts.
Food
You know,
banks, yeah,
food banks, yeah. And it's
yeah,
like, I never thought I would ever be in this position, but they're going.
right.
I noticed that today. There's a church. We were driving by, and they were doing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They were doing a food bank.
Oh, is it on the way to the Wawa, like that church, on the way from your place, between your place and the
No,
Wawa?
no, 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 no. That's
No,
a that's a
okay. Because I was gonna
community.
say,
That's a community center, and they do that on Saturdays.
okay, I was gonna say, yeah, because I've seen them do it.
But
Yeah,
at this church, it was like a little before 10 o'clock in the morning, and there was already a line of cars, people sitting and waiting. I'm going to be sitting there for 3 hours waiting for the
yeah.
food bank to start because they need to get some food.
Fucking
Yeah,
sad, man.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy. Uh, Ed says human greed drives a $30 trillion
yeah.
national debt. Well, right now, I'm going
Agreed.
to
Yeah,
say
it
it right
does.
now. You know, at this point in time, a lot of this is not going to be about greed. I mean, it's people aren't sitting
It
around being
is.
greedy. It's like
No, no, no,
they're.
not
Or are you just talking about up
not
top?
the people receiving the money.
Oh, spending the
Yeah,
money.
not the people receiving the money.
But yeah, it's there's a lot of people in need out there right now that are and all of these provisions are getting ready to end that the first stimulus plan put into effect. You know, now some people have been doing well with that $600 extras in unemployment they were getting. Some people were able to sock away some money, but you know,
Yeah.
Ed says I haven't missed a day of work yet. I don't need the stimulus, and that's great. You're
I
one
wish
of
I had
you're
that.
one of
Yeah.
the lucky ones, right?
Yeah.
John himself lost his job because of it. I mean, that's that's a gut punch. It really is.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
you got.
Yeah, it
I mean,
is.
you were really lucky. You had something to fall back on because you lost your place to
Yeah.
live at the same time. So it's
Yeah. I mean, it was really really tough. You know, I was extremely stressed out about that, and I mean, yeah, you're right. Luckily, I had somewhere else to go, but still, I mean,
yeah. It says
a lot of people don't.
It's
and it's because of these governors who who think that they can. And I'm not saying my particular situation, but other people's. It's these governors who think that they know what's good for everyone, and they're thinking of people as numbers as opposed to lives. And they don't care. They don't care about what people are going through. And it's just, oh, I need to virtue signal. Look, I'm locking my whole state down. Look how virtuous I am. I care about people. But meanwhile, they're making the people suffer under these lockdowns.
yeah. Ed says there are millions out there like me who will use that money. And he agrees that people who are in need should use it. But I will say this.
Yeah,
You know, one rationale that's going to come into the mind of those people who have been working but get that check is going to be the money's already spent, right? They spent this money. It's you can't pull back from the amount that they spent. And here I have a
yeah,
check in front of me. Um, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. This is
right.
because there's a lot of people who will benefit from that, especially when you're talking about, you're not going to have the wealthy getting it. I mean, I think $75,000 is the cap for the income
Right.
for this one.
Luckily,
Um,
I'm making a lot less than that now.
yeah,
So,
and that's a, and that's a, and I think that's the combined. Also for couples, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna shit on anybody for taking the money. I mean,
not at
shit,
all.
most
I
people,
mean,
it's just going to show up in their bank account.
yeah.
Like you got a check, Ed. Mine just showed up in my bank account one day.
So I got to check too because I just didn't want to give the IRS my address. I mean,
Well,
even though it's not hard for them to
well, I mean,
find, but I don't want to be the one to
well,
give it to
right,
them.
but you don't normally, you weren't getting enough, you weren't really seeing anything from tax returns to have it to give them your
Oh,
bank to direct deposit, right?
right. That's what I meant.
Right.
Not my
Yeah.
obviously they have my address. I'm
Right.
talking about the yeah, bank details.
Right.
That's what I meant. I misspoke. But
But
yeah,
when
I mean,
you're
yeah, I was getting like $2 or fucking $16 or something like that. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
so when you have this this house and all of this
Yeah, yeah.
and this kids and stuff, you don't want to necessarily, I would rather have a $1,000 check from my income taxes dropping straight into my bank account than worrying with a check being mailed to me.
For sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like they don't have all my every bit of information
Of
about me
course, but it
already,
doesn't
right?
mean you have to be the one to give it to them
Yeah, well, if I don't give it to them, who will? Oh,
themselves.
everybody else, right?
Yeah, that's a
um,
principle thing, though.
Ed says, but just taking that money willy nilly, every penny came from the same place the virus did. Oh, I could use it, but I'm
China.
not financing this on my grandkids.
Right.
Uh,
No, I understand your arguments, and you're 100% right. I have no objection.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I get you. Stand on your moral ground, and I'm all for that.
Yeah. As
Now
long as you can
I'm
afford to, of course. I
right,
mean,
and I'm still not gonna lie. If you mailed it down, down here to Florida, I could put it to good use. If you did
shit, me
that,
too.
like actually, if you did that, I would actually go get not only do my teeth, but I'd probably go get this hernia operated on too.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
So, Ed, if you wanted to contribute to my get well fund, hey, more power to you. And if not,
Yeah.
I still love you more than I can say, or more than I'm willing to say, right, out loud.
Right.
One other little tidbit that I thought, politically speaking, Andrew Yang saw an article today, and he has thrown his hat in the ring in a mayoral race. Where do you think, John?
Somewhere in California,
No, he wants to be the
Minnesota.
he wants to be the next mayor of New York City.
Oh,
Yeah, he's throwing
man.
he's signed his campaign up for the next mayoral run in New York City. He wants to try and run that city. Um,
Don't you have to be a like a resident of whatever city you're trying to? I don't know where he lives. Maybe he does live
I
in New
thought
York.
maybe I think I could have sworn he was there
Maybe. I don't
in
know.
the Northeast somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
Andrew Yang isn't. He is
Andrew Yank
not.
is a Nazi.
Maybe
I don't
Andrew
think he's a
Yank
Nazi.
is.
Yeah, maybe I don't know who Andrew
No.
Yank is, but yeah, no, I mean, apparently, I don't
I
know.
could
He's
call him a
definitely not a Nazi,
socialist.
but
I'd allow you to call
yeah,
him a socialist without
well,
argument.
yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
that's definitely a thing.
And he's not
Uh,
a nationalist though, so he can't be a Nazi. He's not a
yeah.
national socialist.
But I mean, I have to say, I mean, he had, I get it. I understand people's stance on a UBI, but it's not something he hasn't put thought into
Right.
versus other people who are just like, oh, do this,
I'm sure he's
right?
put a lot of thought into how to spend other people's money.
Well, no, we talked about it at length, when he was running, doing the presidential run. I mean, it's not like he's just going into it with a blanket claim, oh, we need to do a UBI. He's like, okay, well, I'll at least do some of the math and figure out,
Yeah.
some way to try and make this work. But I don't say you got to agree with it. I'm just saying, he's not
Let
an
him
idiot.
implement that in New York, see how well it goes for them. And see, that's what's awesome about the way that our political system works with 50 autonomous states is that you can try one thing in one state as like a pilot program. It's so much better than just like nationally, okay, we're going to try this thing across the whole country. Do it in one state. If it works out well there, other states might adopt it or they might not. If it doesn't, they won't, and only one state's affected.
It
I mean,
says
it's a perfect system.
It says, as inclined as he is to eugenics and barcodes, he'd fit right in next to that anti-Semite de Blasio.
Isn't De
Jesus.
Blasio not even his real last name?
Mm.
I think he changed it. I don't know. Somebody out there who's smarter than me, tell me. But I'm pretty sure that's the case. His last name isn't even De Blasio.
It's it's funny. Like he says something about the barcodes and stuff, and I'm like, you know what though, I I I I don't care how you wrap it up, no matter how you present it. That is where the monetary system is going.
Oh yeah,
It will go this direction to where there will be one unified, simple way for people to
yeah.
get and spend money, which will be, and I have to say this, I honestly believe, not that I'm for it, just saying, it is a streamlined way to take out a lot of fraud, a lot of theft, a lot of, think about identity theft. Now, I'm not saying I want to be chipped, but I wouldn't mind if I had something that was just very specific to me, whether it's a print or whatever it is, to where we streamline things to where somebody can't just go get my credit card number and do God
Right.
knows what with it, or get my social security number and do God knows what with it. You know, you
Yeah, I
know,
was gonna say, Ed's making the point that I was gonna make. I think at this point, I think Catholics have are onto something when it comes to like revelations. Like they're onto something, man. I don't
well,
know.
well, is it possible?
The rapture
Is
is nigh, you guys.
is it possible that there's just not foresight in that? It's, I mean, it's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we could probably sit here and speculate what things will be like 1,000 years from now, and maybe not be off the mark and write it all down and call it prophecy. And, and, I mean, even Nostradamus, a lot of the things that Nostradamus did were just very,
Well, that's the problem is that it's so vague that
right. There was some
you can just
vagary
plug
there.
in whatever. Right.
Sure. Right?
And chances are he wasn't even trying to be a prophet. He was writing against the current government that he was living under. But of course, that would have been illegal. And so he wrote it as prophecy of something that's going to happen in the future so that he's not caught criticizing the government. And that, but he can still do it under that guise. That is one of the theories behind Nostradamus.
Well, it's kind of like, one of the things about, in Revelations is that, like it's all going to start from, like the Middle East is going to be the starting point, conflict in
I
the Middle
mean,
East, and I'm like, you
I
know,
mean,
but I mean, but I mean, there's been conflict in the Middle East for as long as there's been a Middle East, like
right.
since the day he was born. You know, I mean, before that, right? I mean, it's always been because it was like it was the center of everything at one point, and it was like
Yeah.
contentious. And I mean, it's I mean, if we were going to say that, then Revelations, that would it could have been started 200 years ago, more, right? A
Yeah.
thousand years ago, we could have already been seeing the end times
Oh
because
yeah.
there's
No. No.
always been
No.
conflict in the Middle East.
Right.
I mean, and there always will be because that is where the controversy is
Oh, wouldn't
about
it be crazy? Wouldn't
religion.
it be crazy if Trump turns out to be the Antichrist? Right? I mean, he fits the bill for the most part. Right? Very
No,
charismatic,
no, because the
a lot
anti
of followers.
the Antichrist would have is going to would have insinuated himself into the political realm much earlier in life.
You don't know that.
Well, I
He made
it
himself famous first.
mm,
Made himself famous, made it easier for him to become president. He was a good change from the normal career politicians, which helped him get in. And then yeah, he's got a ton of followers. I'm just saying,
there would be
eh,
other, but there would be if that were true, there would have been
yeah,
sign portentous signs that
I
would have
forget all the
marked it.
other like things that the Antichrist, the other attributes of the Antichrist. I forget what they are now. It's been a long time, but
But yeah, I mean,
no, I
it
mean
could
he
be,
kind
but
of
I don't.
fits the bill.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, oddly enough, I would not expect the Antichrist to be so egotistical.
Really,
Yeah,
you wouldn't? I mean, come
no,
on. I
no.
mean,
I
brother,
would expect to a
come on.
certain extent he would be low key, like
No.
to insinuate himself into the public's heart. Like that's what he wants to do. Is he wants to be loved by the people. He wants to set himself up as a
Well, he's loved by a lot of people.
yeah, a lot of people, but not everybody.
And yeah, I know, and a lot of people did say the same thing about Barack Obama. And in fact, my mom was one of those people. He said that for real, like unironically, she said that.
Oh, poor Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man.
so I had a question for you. I saw an article and I just wanted to run it by you real quick. There's a town in Minnesota that is has an online petition going. When they've gotten about 120,000 signatures, but there's a church, and supposedly the organization, the Asatru Folk Assembly, Asatru Folk Assembly, which is supposed to be a whites only religious organization, wants to open up a church in this town. Now, what's interesting is the town itself is a farming town. They have like 280 people population,
Oh my god.
right? But they don't want this church there because, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, they've labeled
Ugh.
the organization as a neo-Volkish hate group that couches their bigotry in baseless claims of bloodlines grounding the superiority of one's white identity. Um, but they basically got a conditional permit earlier this month, but now people, everyone's, trying to get it stopped. And the reason why they were given the permit was because the town's leaders, you know, they didn't want to face the legal battles over the First Amendment
Yeah.
because it's a religious organization.
Right.
Um, but one of the guys from the assembly, Alan Turnage, he said, we're not a white supremacist or separatist group. It's just simply not true. Just because we respect our own culture, that doesn't mean we are denigrating someone else's.
Mm-hmm.
um, on their website, that describe themselves as the religion by which the ethnic European folk have traditionally related to the divine and to the world around them in which members, now here's the crux of it, check this out, honor the gods under the names given to them by our Germanic Norse ancestors.
Wait, so they're not like a Christian church.
No, they honor
Oh,
the
okay.
gods under the
So
names given to them
right,
by
they're a
Germanic and Norse ancestors.
pagan
So it
church.
sounds
It
like
sounds like.
Norse, if it's Norse, Germanic, um, is that like, does that Odin, Thor, things like that? Or I don't
I
know.
imagine that's what it would be.
Is that
Yeah.
what the Germanics were also worshiping along with the
Uh,
Norse?
that's
Or
an excellent question.
that
I'm
would
not
be
a hundred
interesting to
percent
find out.
sure. Yeah.
So let me
Good
ask you
question for our
this.
buddy Anavoltus right there.
So let me ask you this. A, you're okay with them having a whites only religious group,
Yeah, I
right?
don't give a fuck. Yeah.
But from a libertarian standpoint, this is the community rising up and saying, we don't want you here, and going about it the right way. Is that correct? Isn't that
Uh,
what you
in
would
what
expect to
way? Like
happen?
they're, yeah. I mean, they have every right to tell them they can't be there.
Or to, to tell, make them unwelcome or whatever, right? Um, Without violating the
The nat
Constitution, right? Does that
or the
violate the First
Constitution.
Amendment of the Constitution if they, as a
Um,
community, say, no, we don't want this church in our community?
yeah, that's an interesting question. Yeah, I mean, so this is like the case that we bring up when it comes to someone's rights must give way, right? Someone's rights must are going to be violated in this case, right? One or the other. Um, just like when, and I think I've used this example before on the show. Just like when you have one person in an apartment who's playing really loud music, and you have another person at night, and you have another person who's trying to sleep, right? One person has the right to, get their sleep. The other person has the right to play music in their apartment. But at that point, someone's rights are going to be violated, whether it be the person who's trying to sleep or the person who's trying to play music. Someone's rights are going to be violated there. The same kind of instance here. Someone's rights have to give, and I think like okay, so no one's been stopping them from practicing that religion. However, the community can tell them, we don't want you to do that here. Now it gets different when people outside of that community are telling them that they can't be there.
Right.
That is when that's a problem, because they have no business telling anyone in a different community how to operate. So if it's just purely the people in that town telling them, we don't want you here, that is completely different. And yeah, I think that they have the right to do that.
Um, because I do have a feeling that if if the town, whoever honors that um, petition and stops them from coming in, it will probably go to a state, if not federal, constitutional battle
Sure.
over that. But that's where I'm like, okay, well, where do we go from here? Does community rule stand,
Well, you
or
said there's what 280 people in that community.
right?
How many people signed the petition?
It doesn't say how many from there
No,
signed
how
it,
many
but
people total?
huh? Oh, uh,
Total.
280 in the town, over 120 something thousand people have
Yeah,
signed the
that's what I thought.
petition.
They have no business telling them that they can't operate there,
Um,
unless it's all the other 280 people also.
well, that's what I'm
And
saying.
that's
Like, it doesn't say
yeah.
how many of those 280, but the consensus from the article seems to point to the fact that the
Well,
town
naturally it would,
the
wouldn't it?
town is united in not wanting them to come in,
Right.
because they think they're coming in under the radar in a little town, under the umbrella of the Constitution to protect them from having
Well,
a
there's
a hate
280
group.
people there. They probably already go to a different church,
More than likely.
right? I mean,
Uh,
how many people are you going to draw there unless they bring people with them,
sure. Let me ask you
which
this:
changes the demographics, of course.
what about does it do people signing the petition from within the same county count as well,
I
and
wouldn't
within
think
the state?
so. On principle, I wouldn't think so because it doesn't affect where they live.
Hmm.
Whereas in the town, in the same town, it affects where you live, right? It's
Right.
your next door neighbor or something like that, or as opposed to some. Oh, I don't like what this person's doing in the town next to me. Well, sorry, but that doesn't affect you.
Right.
Like,
Well, it does.
no,
It's sorry that it always brings the question to mind. What do we consider community?
yeah.
What
Well,
what
the
is
general
reaching beyond
rule,
the community?
the general rule is to localize as much as possible, which means
The
down to the
the
town
town.
level, to the
Right.
neighborhood level, if you can, like as small as to the cul-de-sac, if you can. You know what I mean? Like as localized as possible.
Yeah.
Which means, yeah, I would say in this case, the town, because it's a, it's a town, it's a public service in the
Right.
town, anyone in the town can go there. Anyone can come from a different county or a different town if they want to, but it's not in that where they live, it's not where
Right.
those people live.
I see Ron Helton in the house. He says, "Don't do drugs, but feel free to do as you please in that regard."
Will do. Thanks for the advice,
Thanks.
Ron.
He says, "Where is everybody tonight? Last minute shopping? More than
I
likely,
suppose, yeah.
or
Or out
get
of town,
going somewhere to be at a Corona party. You know, could
going
be
to a
that."
super spreader event. Yes.
Um, so shortly after they talked about the stimulus, and I thought I would share. I wanted to have some fun and share some of this because I thought some of them were funny. So I'll share this with you, John, and then everybody out there as well. But it's memes about the $600 stimulus, which some of them were funny, some of them are just it's so. But so I don't know if you've ever seen Arrested Development,
I have not,
but
surprisingly.
this is the mother from Arrested Development with Nancy Pelosi's face over it, and now she's
Oh, really? That's a
rich,
really
and
good Photoshop. Holy shit.
the mother from Arrested Development is wealthy and
Naturally.
is in her own little world and has no idea about shit, that
Yeah.
for the common folk. But I mean, it's 9 months of food, rent, and utilities. Michael, what could it cost? $600?
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's not
She
too
doesn't
far
know.
off the mark, is it? Um, but oh, whoa! Where did you go? You went away from me. Oh, it's one of those. I got to do it that way. Yeah.
Oh my
Um,
god, you gotta give them ad revenue.
is that what it is?
Okay.
No, I'm not trying to. I didn't have to give a thing, but now, of course, now it's not going to show
No,
anything.
the
What's
images, yeah, the images are broken now. Excellent.
how does that
Holy
happen?
shit, I didn't realize you were at E-Bomb's World.
Is that bad?
No, it's nostalgic. Do you know how long it's been since I've been to E-Bomb's World? I didn't know they were still around.
You
Holy
didn't?
crap.
You didn't know they were still around?
I
Neither I
didn't.
didn't know
I
they.
haven't been there in years. Like, I'm talking a good 15 years.
Wow,
Like,
they killed it. Like this is even on a refresh. They killed it. There's no
oh snap.
the article must have been taken out or something screwed with it.
That's insane. Holy shit.
Either that or they're just having trouble on their site because it was fine earlier. By God, these were funny. God damn it. Uh, one of my favorites was a guy. He posted a picture of an Xbox, the new Xbox console, and he posted a picture of a $10 full ski mask from Wish, and he's like, "I'm gonna get a new stimulus check and a new Xbox, and still have $590 left over because the ski mask was
Right, right.
$10."
I got you. That's
I'm
funny.
like, "Oh, that's well, fuck, that sucks. They killed my memes. Oh, these were good memes too. Who does that? Why can't people get their websites right, John? I don't
Especially
get it."
E-Bomb's World, they're old and established.
But you know what? Whatever. This one is mind melting things that people said in 2020, which, who knows? A lot of these
God.
may have gone viral or may have been seen, but
Wait,
I
is
thought
this
they were funny.
BuzzFeed?
This is off BuzzFeed, yeah. No,
Oh
no, no,
my
no, no, no.
god.
This is 24 World News.
Oh my, what even? Okay.
It's just random stuff. I mean, it's just don't get all
Lame. All
bent,
right.
John.
I'm gonna
Uh,
get bent.
but I do love this one, right? Yes, I'm a vegan.
Yeah.
Yes, I eat meat. We
We
exist,
exist.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen all those in the replies. Oh, look at that. More at BuzzFeed.
Oh, yeah, it jumps out of. So who cares if it's on BuzzFeed,
I
John?
care.
Why?
because in the strange.
We've taken tests off BuzzFeed. Live with
I know.
yourself. I love you guys more than anything in this whole entire
Entire.
world. This is why I loved them, because a lot of these are
Oh,
the classic screw ups in writing. Here's another
oh
one.
God.
I don't know why people are scared of chupacabras. They seem so nice. Chupacabra is the mythical creature that drains goats of
Yeah,
blood
that's
in
a
Mexico.
capybara.
That's a capybara.
Yeah,
Dumbass.
which is supposed to be like the largest rodents on Earth, I think.
Uh, on pasta. What are y'all's favorite pasta? I just love rigid
Rigid
Tony.
Tony.
Rigid Tony, I love it.
That's an auto. That's an autocorrect for sure.
Tell him Rigid Tony sent you. When it comes to my career, disguise the limit.
Fair enough. Yeah. Always the sky's the limit because if they know what you're not capable of doing, you can only move so far. You got to disguise the limit.
Well, how long on pregnancy? How long would the pregnancy take if she had twins? Do the math, John. Do the math. Do the
That
math,
is
John.
Oh my god, that is so stupid.
Right?
Like, how do you even get that number?
How do you even? How
How
do
do
you
you
even?
even?
The public education system is failing us, John.
It's just failing everybody, yeah.
Here's one on biology. What the fuck is an XX or XY chrome of zone? The only
Chrome of
letter I
zone.
have in my body are SWANG.
Wag?
Swag.
Oh,
Eh,
swag. S, yeah.
Chrome
Gay.
of zone
Chrome of zone.
on Atlanta. Here, I love this one. I did see this earlier in the. I just realized Atlanta is spelled the same back forward and backwards.
At Nalta.
Maybe they need to reopen the schools.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, keep the schools open, man. Oh my god.
My joints hurt really bad. I think I have Arthur writes this.
Arthur writes this, yeah. That's how you know that person is Southern. That's good. They say arthritis like
Right.
that. I'll bet you that's what they say, yeah.
Lighting some incest right
Arthritis.
now. Smells great.
Nice. I bet it does.
Wyatt says, while it's 9 months plus 9 months, but then you need to add one because it's two babies. Duh, so dumb.
Right, of course.
On fine
You're
art.
right, we're dumb.
Since becoming a model, I want my portrait in a museum like Simone and Lisa.
Like the Mona Lisa.
Simone Lisa.
Simona Lisa, yeah. That's cute, I guess.
Anyone get a chance to see the meteor shower tonight?
It was far meatier than last year, I'll tell you that.
There you go. Hey, is that a ribeye? Bone-in ribeye. That's going to taste
Oh
great
man,
when it
dude, I'm having a
hits.
steak on Saturday. Oh my god, dude, I can't wait.
It's going to be so
good.
yummy.
Oh my
On
god.
decision making, I'm not willing to play rush and roulette to figure which one is not evil.
So I'm always willing to play Rush. Just an FYI to anyone out there. Always willing to play Rush,
I've
but not
played
roulette.
both. I've played both rush and roulette.
I've never played roulette.
Yeah, it's a great way to throw away your money.
Oh yeah, I bet. However, Rush is also the greatest band to ever live, and in fact, they're so great that
Shut up.
The fact that they're Canadian is irrelevant. That is how much Rush is awesome.
Shut up.
I know.
Bitch, the only thing you should be doing right now is masturbating. That's it. Everything else is E-rail elephant. However the fuck you say it, E-rail elf ant.
Why wouldn't you just pick a different word? Everything else doesn't matter, perhaps. Like,
E-rail elephant.
Oh my god.
Salads. This chicken Caesar salad is hitting the spot.
That could easily just be
No, because Caesar starts with a C.
Well, yeah. Okay.
No, they fucked up from the beginning on that one.
Yeah.
On inspiration, just drank some inspired milk. Gonna have the Stumney Rubbles all night. Inspired.
Stumney Rebels.
Stumney Rubbles. Anything is possible.
No.
On chicken, it is simply the late night chicken permission for me. Do you get it?
Parmesan, yeah.
Yes, chicken permission.
Chicken parmesan. Chicken parm is not that great, by the way. It's all right, but it's not great.
I ran into a glass door and I think I might have a Caucasian.
Me too, man. Me too. I feel you.
But at
I'm kind
least
of Caucasian as
but at
well.
least we know where the church you can go to.
Not only that, but also we can forgive the misuse of the word Caucasian in that case. Like, at least we have an explanation for that one.
I have two sides: the nicest girl you'll ever meet, and twisted fucking psychopath.
You mean idiot,
You don't
right?
want you don't want to ride on that psychopath. It's
No,
twisted.
you don't.
It's a twisted fucker. Just put your bike in the garage. Had
Oh
drinks with
man,
some pals and woke up in the fetal position. That's how you
dude,
know it was a good night.
that's true. I hate when I wake up and suddenly I'm in charge of a fiefdom. Like I'm like, oh god, not this again.
Right? This happens way too much.
Way too much. I got all this land and taxes and ah.
Heating up macking cheese in the microwave.
Yeah, you are.
Hey, I'm Mac. It's like 10 the grease outside, bitch. I'm freezing. 10 the grease.
That's good. That's cute.
Uh, Criticism. Haha, please. The hippo criticism in Sweden has no bottom. This is only to score some points. The hippo criticism.
Yeah, I like the hippo criticism.
The hippo criticism. You're
Yeah, that's a good
bad.
one. I might start saying that.
Your sales reports have been getting worse and worse, Bill. I'm going to need you to redo this one. The hippo criticism continues.
That's funny.
This is why I don't argue with y'all. Here's the tweet: buying a $40 bottle of liquor in the club for 300 doesn't seem like some baller shit to me. Just fiscally irresponsible. Did you mean to spell physically wrong?
Wow. Good one. Yeah, he meant physically, for sure.
NBA Twitter isn't ready for this argument. Do people not understand that basketball has two sides, offense and defense? But I digest.
He does, yeah, he digests.
What's with the accent mark over the E in defense?
Dude, I know because you
Defense.
had to you had to
Defense.
try you had to try and do that. You're like it's not an
Right?
accidental slip
Right?
of the
Nothing
key,
defaults to that unless it's
right?
maybe they're in another country and they do pronounce it defense. I don't know.
Maybe.
What are you digesting? I'm officially comatose. The stress of my job has killed me.
Oh man, rip your toast, dude.
You know, the bad part about that is when you're in a coma, you're not dead. Um,
Right.
didn't didn't Sam and Colby go to jail, or are those different twins?
Kobe.
They went to jail for trespassing.
Trespassing.
Here, take this trust. No, no. I don't know what I'm gonna do for a workout tomorrow because that son gave me a mind grain today.
Damn, I hate when my mind gets grained.
And on cars. So my car got towed. Not true. I'm right here.
That's a good one, yeah.
Oh, but some of they gave me laughs, John. I love laughs, right?
Yeah.
Ron Helton. You can replace that word irrelevant with bullshit, right? When I
Yeah.
wake up in the fetal position, I am still holding a pike with a head on top.
Yeah, I feel you, man. It sucks. You're like, oh no, what happened last night?
um, so
And by the way, you don't necessarily put a head on a pike. Like I guess you can,
you put it
but
on a spike, don't you?
yeah, a pike is a waste. That would be a waste of a perfectly good pike.
Well, if you've got
They were
extras.
expensive. They were expensive, dude.
Yeah,
Not as
but
expensive as a halberd, but they were still really expensive.
But you probably got extras after a few guys have been killed in your military. You just gather them up. You
Yeah,
got
yeah.
some standing around. Why not throw some heads on them?
Fair enough. I
Decorate
mean,
them till they're
use what you
put to
got.
use,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, use what you
The
got.
head's not going to be on there forever. I mean, it's going to decay.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's fair.
Here's a Christmas gift idea, not for this Christmas, but for one upcoming. Not sure how long it'll be because there's not been a release date for this, but there's going to be a new gaming console being put out, and now this is real because it's been reported on by other mainstream media besides the one I'm going to show, and of course,
Right, and they never
CNN.
lie.
But Kentucky Fried Chicken is
Oh
going to be
fuck
putting out a
yes.
gaming console.
Oh my god.
Now,
That is amazing.
this gaming console is an Intel powered gaming console that's going to have a built in chicken chamber to keep your snacks warm. They're partnering with
Nice.
Cooler Master, who's really on top and big in the market for that kind of stuff. The bargain bucket shaped machine features the world's first built in chicken chamber, which is kitted out to keep its contents hot, ready for consumption during intense gaming sessions.
So hang on before you continue.
Hmm.
Did they did they focus group this? Did they
Apparently.
like who?
Do you like chicken, John? Do you like fried chicken?
Of
And
course, I
have
love
you ever
fried
been in
chicken.
an
Who doesn't love?
intense game and been like, God
Yeah,
damn, I wish I
but
had a chicken leg right now? Reach in the
no,
bucket.
no, I haven't because you don't want to get grease all over
Ah,
your
that's the
hands and then
first thing
touch
my
the
wife said too.
controllers.
It's the first
Right.
thing my
So
wife said.
so that's why I asked if they focus group that or not because
Here's
like
the
how
thing.
would that not be the first thing to come up?
Well, here's part of it. Just depending on whether VR. It's going to be VR capable as well. So now, contingent on not having to have a controller in your hand, you could be doing
You do
VR
though.
and eat your chicken.
With VR, you still have little
But you won't be able
controllers
to
in your
see the
hand.
fucking console to get your chicken because you got the
Oh,
goggles
that's
on.
not even the problem. As long as you know where it is in the room, you can reach in and grab it and eat.
Yeah, we've seen
But
how
my
that gets
you
turned
still
around.
have you still have controllers in your hand when you're playing VR though.
Well, that's what I was saying. If they're if they can get rid of having to have the controllers in your hand for the VR, but yes, that's of course the first thing that came to my wife's mind, my mind, your mind. Yes,
Yeah,
but so they've got a built-in cooling system to cool the internals of the gaming console, but it will direct the heat from that upwards into the
right.
chamber to warm whatever's in there.
Which is cool, but
Let's see.
still doesn't help.
Here it is, John. Look at that.
Cross-platform capability, I sure hope
11, 12, 20. What?
Wait, so
That's
it's out?
no, no. Um,
Okay.
no, I
Thought it
don't
was
know.
out because
Maybe that was the announcement date.
maybe, but I don't know why they would put that in, not the release date.
This machine is capable of running games at top level specs, all on top of keeping your meal warm for you to enjoy during your gaming experience. What's not to like? And that's Mark Cheever's PR and social media UK, KFC UK and Ireland in the company's press release. And then they offered Sony and Microsoft if they want tips, they can get in touch with them on how to do something like that. Now bear this in mind. You don't have to keep chicken in it. Like anything
Right,
you
of
want to keep
course
warm,
not.
like you want to stack some
Yeah.
cheeseburgers in there, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Keep your
whatever you want to put
cheeseburgers
in there,
warm,
yeah.
right? So you can do non-greasy stuff, but
Hamburgers can be greasy, certainly.
I mean, this isn't the first collaboration they've done. Here, KFC and Crocs. Do you see these KFC
Oh
Crocs
my
here?
god, that's so dumb.
They did Crocs with chicken pictures on them. Not actually
Why?
having chicken, but
Right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, in December of 2019, they teamed up with an artificial fire log company, Envirolog, to offer the chicken scented 11 herbs and spices fire log. That was a
See,
real
now
thing, too.
that is a good idea.
No, it's
That is
not.
awesome. Oh, yes,
You
it
know why?
is.
Because
Why?
you fuck yourself. You cook
No.
that log and then you gotta go get some of the goddamn chicken.
Dude, I don't care. That sounds awesome. That's like that baking brownie incense that I used to burn all the time. That was just amazing. Just smelled like baking brownies.
Um,
It's incredible.
Helton says, I see an instant incubator for
Oh yeah,
cockroaches. He said, I used to work on computers
for
years
sure.
ago for money, and there were a few that came across my bench top with food stains and dead cockroaches inside.
Oh yeah, a
He
hundred
says, I
percent.
wonder how
They're
some of the
warm. Yeah,
he says, wonder how some of those components got sorted out on the boards.
yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, that's crazy shit. Is that not some real funky, crazy stuff going on right there? That
That's
this
ridiculous
is
and is
where our
gonna fail
technology
immediately.
either we could save the human race, but instead we want to make a gaming console that'll keep your fried chicken warm.
Well, see, that's what's
That's,
good if we had a free market is they could put shit out like this and like a few people will buy it,
I mean,
but it's gonna fail. I mean,
welcome to the idiocracy. I'm still wait. I'm just, I'm gonna wait for. I'm still waiting for standard recliners in homes that are attached to a toilet.
oh my god, you know how awesome and convenient that would be?
All right.
Oh my god.
All
If I had
right.
one right now, I would never have to get up and go to the bathroom.
So
Like, it would be amazing.
I saw this and I thought it was awesome. And it's just it's a little news clip. But this guy is in New Jersey, and he loves National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. But he also loves kids too. But he has
Whoa.
gone full Griswold on his house. Now, when I say full Griswold on his house, you'll see. He went all out for this. Check this out.
Verizon 5G is
Oh,
here
thank you for
with the
your
coverage of
commercials.
5G
Oh my
nationwide
god.
and the unprecedented performance
Now
of
you're making
ultra
me watch
wide.
an ad.
I didn't know it was going to do that.
You know I hate ads.
I didn't
I've
mean
been
it.
very outspoken about
I didn't
ads.
turn my ad blocker
Christmas
off.
movie to another. In fact, a Christmas cult classic has taken over one South Jersey neighborhood. It involves more than 10,000 sparkly lights, an RV stuffed with toy donations, and Clark Griswold with cousin Eddie not far behind.
Nice.
Photojournalist Mike Niklowski takes us to Clarksboro, where a fun tradition exploded into helping hundreds of families.
Look at that house.
I mean, I'm just a guy that put up lights, right? And I've got people crying out here. I've got people thanking me constantly.
And that's someone who's not
Oh
been
my gosh,
affected by
we
COVID.
love Christmas
Alright.
Vacation. I've watched it since I was a kid with my dad, and this is talk about uplifting spirits at a time like this. So
Well, the house
very
makes
cool.
it
I
obvious
was
that
like,
he's not really hurt.
Right.
Oh my
He's not
God.
hurting for
Because
money.
it's like all of this brings back the memories of the movie.
I like the movie, but the people that come out here really like the movie. All these vehicles out here are very authentic to the exact year from the movie. That's a 1973 Ford Condor RV, impossible to find. That's a 1986 Ford Taurus out there with the tree on top. And the cop car is a 1984 Crown Vic.
It's just done like so well. It's like really close to the movie, and it's like different than like the other houses on the street.
Wow, it's
Beautiful.
wonderful. It's Christmas.
It's for the kids, and I lost a nephew like St. Chris about 10 years ago. So for me, this is like in honor of Robbie.
They're doing such good for, the kids out there that need it.
It makes me feel really good. I mean, there's a lot of deprived kids, a lot of sick kids. I can't explain the feeling. The feeling is spectacular.
When someone asks me to get engaged on the front lawn, that's pretty cool. A lot of people cry because it was their dad's favorite movie. He's not here anymore. People thank me. It's a great feeling, and never in a million years would I thought, I would create this.
That
Yes.
is pretty awesome. I like
Right.
this dude.
And my favorite
Yeah.
part is that his whole goal is to try and fill up that RV with toys for kids for
Yeah.
Christmas time. That's
Which is even
awesome.
better. Yeah, so that dude's awesome.
Now, see
And
that
see,
that I don't see that as a frivolous waste of money when there's an end goal like that to go
Right.
along with it.
well, it's also more proof of the charitable nature of people in
Right.
general, right? Obviously, there are non-charitable people, but generally, people are charitable.
Right.
That dude had the means to, help other people and chose to do so.
Yeah, and he's wealthy. It's obvious he's wealthy,
In some
but
way, yeah, he's
right.
definitely not.
I mean, you
hurting
don't have a
anyone,
house
yeah.
like that if you're not wealthy, right?
Yeah.
Right. So and I don't know. I can appreciate it. That's not an elitist to me, as it were, to a certain extent,
Right.
right?
He's pretty down to earth, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he had someone come and put those lights up. You know what
No,
I
I don't
mean?
know.
But
He may have done the work
I
himself.
I doubt it.
But he went to a lot of work to get all the props. Because
Yeah.
you saw the
The car, the
the
RV, the
metal
police
sled that
car.
he burned off
Yeah,
down the
yeah,
hill, the burned out cat
yeah.
furniture, all that stuff was there.
Yep.
And just getting those fucking cars, right? The RV, that took some work, right?
Yeah.
We're pretty much at the end of our time, but I want to show this. I saw this and I was like, wow, this is awesome. So I want to end with this commercial. It's out of Germany. It's for I forget, it's like a health and wellness kind of place, but I thought this was awesome. It's very, I don't know. You tell me. It really sang to me. But just enjoy this commercial and then we'll get the hell out of your hair. Sorry to say, but that one kind of
Yeah,
got me.
wow. Yeah, for sure.
That's the third
Dude,
time I've
super
watched
sweet.
it, and I still, I mean, I'm a grandfather,
Yeah.
it's,
Right,
but I'm like, damn, you know.
right.
I mean, maybe you got to
Yeah.
have kids, maybe you got to have grandkids. I don't know, but it's. See,
Yeah.
damn, he got strong, so he can lift his granddaughter to place the store. Fucking awesome. See,
It's
that,
definitely commendable, yeah, for
a lot
sure.
of people out there, it's gotten it's getting, a lot of people are saying that it's one of the best Christmas ads ever. you
Yeah,
know,
it really
and
is.
it's
It's extremely
it's just, it
wholesome
just it
and
just
awesome.
really
Yeah.
it just really gets you right, and
Yeah.
that's the feeling I want people to have for Christmas. Is just
Yeah.
that, you know, I don't know. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm going to stop running my mouth and wipe my eyes. John,
Yeah.
why don't you do your bit for a minute? Let's get the
Yeah.
hell out of here.
Absolutely. So I mentioned in Discord, earlier that I'm not doing the lunch break with John this week. It's because there's a lot going on around here, so it's much more difficult for me to do it. But I will definitely be back as soon as possible. Um, you can also probably look forward to some gaming streams coming up, so look out for those. But in the meantime, you can go down to our description where you can find all of our links to all of our stuff. So you can find our Twitter at the GenGapP. You can find our Discord server, which is a lot of fun, a lot of cool people in there. Also, you'll get notifications of us going live. Just in case YouTube decides not to give out those notifications, you'll get them in Discord. And then we've got our Subscribe Star. So if you have a passing fancy for us, you can give us some money and you'll get some perks in exchange. So go and check those out, see which ones you like, and pick the one that works out best for you. And then also, you can find us at freedomscoop.com. You can find all of our stuff there, and you can find other lesser and unimportant creators like J. Edgar or Stephen Ignoramus. You can find Wyatt from The Breakdown with Birkenhoff. You can find Already Conservative, and you can find Freckles and Brick Show over there as well. So make sure you check them out. And while you're over there, but wait, there's more. You can get our t-shirts over there, and you can get our mugs over there as well. And if you put in the code GenGab at checkout, you'll get 15% off your purchase. So that's pretty freaking awesome. You should make sure you go ahead and do that.
Sweet. Well, we will not be back on Friday, so because of that, I want to make sure and wish a happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas
to everyone. Yeah. Please be safe out there. Go and enjoy time with your loved ones, your friends, family, whatever you're going to do. Just have a good time and enjoy the holiday. For those of you who observe the holiday, those that don't, have a great day anyway. We won't be back on Friday, but we will be back. I think we're shooting for another Fill in the Gap on Monday, which is coming at you at 9:30 p.m. And then we'll also be back again Wednesday for our regular rousing episode of Shooting the Shit, much like this one, except this week we were shooting the Yule. But that's at 9:30 as well p.m. Both of those times are Eastern time, the one and only true time zone. One of those nights, I think we're gonna have to talk about new copyright laws that may be going into effect that are actually going to impact streamers like ourselves in the future that could really hurt us if we're not careful. So stay tuned for that. We're going to cover it once more of the fallout has come from that, once we find out if this actually goes through. Till then, again, Merry Christmas. Thank you all very much for showing up. And, we truly appreciate all the support week after week for those of you, those hardcore fans that show up and talk to us and take part in this. We really appreciate that. So until next time, we will see you guys on Monday, and have yourselves a merry little Christmas. Peace out, folks.
Merry Christmas, guys. See you.
The war will begin.